Resilience and character you've got to show when you come into a stadium like this. The hostility from the home fans, managing this environment is huge. They came in the first half absolutely dominated possession and got sucker punched, but then the game flipped in the second half. When they scored, they were the team that were on the back foot. So it shows you possession isn't what it's all about. It doesn't have to be all possession. You just got to be clinical in the right moments, and they were today. De Bruyne and Vinicius with 2 great strikes, definitely worthy of winning any game, but this ended up a draw. Both teams, I think, be satisfied. All to play for in the next one.
Yeah, obviously disappointing overall, but over the grand scheme of things, you come to the Bernabéu 14 times as champion.
Are you disappointed?
Obviously, because you come with optimism that you're going to win and score more than 1 goal. But again, before the game, you would have took 1-1 at the Bernabéu. But over the course of the tie, you expect City to score a few more goals, hopefully, and then go through. But listen, this is an intense place and an intense atmosphere. So credit to the boys.
You're playing against the history here as well. Yeah. It ain't just the players, these players here. You're playing against the history. Again, we talked about it. The full team trophies. You look in their dugout. Carlo Ancelotti's got 4 as a manager, 4 Champions League winners' medals. They know how to navigate every moment during these type of games because they're so used to it. You're playing against so much, and I think this City team have to be. You got to hold them up and say, you know what, they came here and the way that they performed in terms of character, take on the ball, the bravery to take the ball the way they did. I think that was a phenomenal stance, and for the first game, I think they can come away with this with their head well held high.
I also think it tells its own story that, you know, Kyle Walker and John Stones are happy to come over, shake hands. You know, you don't do that if you're disappointed with a night's work, actually, do you?
Yeah, I think they'll be reasonably relieved, Man City, in the end. As I say, I thought they were very, very good in the first half, and they'll take that away, you know, with them as a positive. But second half, I thought Madrid really started turning the screw, and I think they'll be pleased to get off there today with a draw. The way the game just panned out in the end, tactically, it felt like Pep Guardiola had the upper end first half. It switched in the second half. And the 1-1 draw going back to Manchester is probably something they're quite relieved to have, I think, now.
It's the same old Real Madrid this evening, isn't it? Doing what they do so well. Manchester City have played their part. They've played really well, yet it's Real Madrid who lead.
Yeah, and I have to say, I've been sitting up here, I've marvelled at the composure, the bravery, how they just sit and wait, this team. This Real Madrid team. You look at the City team, they've come here, they've absolutely battered them possession-wise, but that counts for nothing. They're sitting, they're composed, they're waiting, they concentrate, and that minute comes for them to jump and pounce, and the clinical element of this team, it just speaks for itself. Modric here comes with the ball, beats the press. Jolyon mentioned what a player is in terms of beating that press round the corner, and then from this point on, Vinicius Jr., I mean, I was going bananas in there, this was crazy.
Yeah, obviously when Camavinga's running forward, this is why Bernardo Silva's in the team, to nullify that threat. That hasn't been the case, and it's a great finish. There are a lot of numbers back for City. Can someone engage slightly earlier, but you can't take nothing away from that finish.
He got no change out of Kyle Walker out wide for a long period of time, Jake, and then he's come inside and he's actually done, well, created a right bit of magic. I mean, when they pass the ball into Modric, not many teams would do that. He was marked, he had nothing on. The confidence they've got in each other, both teams that is, even when they're marked, they're happy to give it to great players because they know they'll pull something out the bag. And that little flick from Modric basically beat the Manchester City press, and all of a sudden they're on the back foot.
This is a high-level game. You've got one team complete possession, they're creating shapes on the pitch, asking questions all over the pitch, and then you've got another team that are just composed, sitting there and waiting. No one jumping out and coming out from the shape, and then when they get their moments, they go. And as I said, how clinical they were in that phase of play there. This is a team of just killers in this team. They smell the blood.
The key for City is to keep on asking those questions that Rio mentioned. They need to deal with the opposition, deal with the stadium, deal with the scoreline, and just remember, you're only a quarter of the way through this.
Yeah, I don't think City will be panicking. They'll be pleased with how they played in the first half. Yes, the goal was disappointing to concede like that, but overall they've created chances. They've got forward. I think they need to drive past defenders, or try to drive past defenders a little bit more. I think everything's coming inside. It makes it a little bit more predictable and allows Real Madrid to recover. But if they look to just get Bernardo Silva 1v1 a little bit more and say go past him, or trying to go past him, and use the threat of Kyle Walker, because Vinicius isn't tracking back.
He's not tracking back. They can double up on that right hand side. I would not be disappointed if I was Pep Guardiola. Yes, with the scoreline. But that first half hour, I was marvelling up here. You get a great view up here. And tactically, I mean, I thought Pep Guardiola had the advantage tactically. But of course, goals are the most important thing, and they're behind, but no panic, as you say, only quarter.
Roger, you've got a result at the Bernabéu. It's no mean feat, especially in the Champions League. And even better, because you went down a goal.
Yeah, very tough always. When you come here, I think the lads were incredible. The effort was there. Sometimes it's difficult against this team because they have a lot of quality. I think the first 25-30 minutes we controlled so good the game, and first chance they have, they score an incredible goal. What we keep in the game, with our philosophy, we didn't keep the face. We keep playing even though it was difficult because they defend in a way that is difficult to get in. And I think the key was shooting from the frontal area. I tried sometimes, and then Kevin find the goal. And then I think the last minutes we struggled a little bit to keep the ball. I think, but this stadium is normal.
Is it the kind of game where it's mental, a lot of concentration required?
There's a lot of concentration because when you lose the ball, it's very tough to regain it. They have a lot of quality. They also want to play, and they have fast players on front. But the effort of the lads was incredible.
Kevin De Bruyne's goal was fantastic. I mean, that's a big moment in this tie, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a massive player for us always. He's been great, and he helped us in the moment we most need it. We were suffering a bit in the second half because they were keeping the ball, and yeah, with that goal he gave us the confidence to keep pushing. Even though the first half we could have a shot or with Erling, no big chances, but good result for us.
Does this give you a platform now for next week?
Yeah, we knew no matter what happened here, it's not going to be end. So we have the second game at home. We'll need the people to support us.
I'm sure they will. Thank you very much.
Striking the ball both feet as well. That was just abuse. It's so easy to hit that high.
Yeah,
and over
I was
the
going
bar.
to say that when the ball's being rolled back to you like that, it's so easy to kind of miscue it. It can go up, you can lean back and the ball goes over, or it goes wide, or you can even bobble it into the
If you try to
floor.
get over too much, it scuffs.
Because
and
when you
goes,
try and hit it so hard, that's when the mistakes come back. He's one of those guys who just seems to be able to hit it as hard as he wants and gets the purest contact on it at all times. Fantastic.
Despite the frustration of the Real Madrid boss. Let's hear from him actually. He's just emerged and he's now with Des.
Carlo, that was a close battle. We all knew it would be. How did you see it tonight?
Good game, interesting game. Difficult for us. All the first half, second half much better. I think we had a good control of the game. Also, in the first part of the game, when they had a lot of control with possession, but we were in good control defensively. And then when we start to play the ball, we create a lot of difficulties.
Yeah, you didn't panic when you didn't panic when they had so much possession. You stay calm.
No, you have to stay calm. You have to keep the position defensively. Don't go crazy to press and stay there with a low block. And then we had the opportunity. We scored the first goal.
Vinicius Junior's strike was fantastic. He's in great form at the moment.
Yeah, great striker in a fantastic moment. But the team played well. The team played well. I am satisfied, and with good sensation about the game on Wednesday.
And to pick out a couple of individuals, Rudiger, Alaba, kept Haaland very quiet.
No, defensively we were good. But Rudiger against Haaland did really well, and the midfielder covered well the position in front of the defense. We managed well the ball in the second half. We are satisfied. Sometimes the result doesn't give you a credit, but the performance was really good, and we are happy. And as I said, with a strong motivation for the next game.
Just clear up, what did you get the yellow card for?
I don't know why. Played well. I am satisfied, and with good sensation about the game on Wednesday.
And to pick out a couple of individuals, Rudiger, Alaba, kept Haaland very quiet.
No, defensively we were good. But Rudiger against Haaland did really well, and the midfielder covered well the position in front of the defense. We managed well the ball in the second half. We are satisfied. Sometimes the result doesn't give you a credit, but the performance was really good, and we are happy. And as I said, with a strong motivation for the next game.
Just clear up, what did you get the yellow card for?
I don't know why. I told him.
And the Manchester City fans react as you would expect. Here he is, Super Jackie Grealish.
How was that, man? You enjoy that?
Yeah, I loved it, man. We were saying before the game that these are the nights that I think you can have a few nerves, but these are the nights that you play football for. You know, these are the nights that you dream of playing in. You know, everyone in the world watching the semi-final of the Champions League. You know, at a stadium like this, it's like a dream come true, isn't it? Really.
Did you? We talked about nerves and coming into a game like this, just the magnitude of this game, massive game. Was there a hangover at all from last season, the result and the coming to a stadium like this?
No, I don't think so. I think you know, we have a new team this year, different players, and it's a year ago. You know, I think one thing that I can say, we've learned so much, you know, since last year, and I think now, you know, we have the perfect balance of like experience of you know, a few youngsters like obviously Phil, Erling, youngsters like that who are just world class.
Youngsters.
So, well,
22 man, isn't it? 22. It's crazy.
I mean, and then we have like the experience, and then I think we just have quality. You know, I said in an interview the other week that I swear I've never felt so confident, you know, going onto the pitch and just having these and having the players around me.
Jack, you were playing in today's game. I was just wondering the mental side of things today, playing against a wily old campaigner, you know, and not to get drawn into that, you know, yellow cards, maybe even red cards. How hard is it in this type of atmosphere to keep you cool?
Yeah, it's obviously difficult. You know, obviously I think they let us have the first pass a few times, and then, you know, they had a bit of a high press, especially at the start of the game. So, you know, that's what the manager always says, you know, keep the ball, take 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, and then obviously, you know, playing against Carvajal, you know, I can't count honestly the amount of people that said to me before the game, make sure you don't, you know what he's going to be like. So listen, it was a good battle. I really enjoyed it out there, and yeah, I was tired, man, at the end. I've never had cramp before, but I had it in both my calves at the end.
Especially them calves as well.
I know, yeah.
Did the message change at half-time, Jack? Because we felt you were playing so well as a team, but obviously going in 1-0 down, and then you come out second half. What was the game plan second half?
Do you know what? I think they defended really well.
Yeah.
You know, we've obviously, I think we've all seen games recently, you know, where they've conceded like a few goals, you know, and they probably haven't had the best of results. But I think tonight they defended really well. I think most of our chances, you know, and I even said it to myself, I swear, I feel like we're only going to score here from like a shot on the edge of the box. And we had a few in the first half. Gundo, I think, had one. Rodri had a few. And then, you know, when it fell to Kev, you know, I didn't
strike,
know.
by the way.
Yeah, no, it was unbelievable, man. But listen, we see it every single day in training, and you wouldn't choose anyone else, you know, for it to fall to.
Jack, what do you have to do now going into the next game? Do you think you've got to change much tactically, or would it be a similar approach to what you've got to do? And do you feel much more confident taking them back to the Etihad?
Yeah, I can't remember. I think Brentford before the World Cup, I think, was the last time. I could be wrong, but we even drew a game. I think we've won every game since then. Obviously, we lost that one. But I think, you know, even within ourselves, you know, at the Etihad, you know, at the moment, we just feel unstoppable there. So we come here tonight, you know, to try and win. And I swear we didn't come here, you know, to say, oh yeah, let's try and get a draw or whatever. We come here to win. But I think it just shows our character, you know, to go a goal down. It's always difficult, you know, to play at a place like this and to go a goal down. And I think in the end, it probably was, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I think it was a fair result in the end. They had their chances, you know, we had a few as well. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it, man, tonight. I loved it.
Well done.
It was a great game to watch.
Cheers.
And I hope that, you know, there were challenges last season. I hope you're now making sure you're savouring nights like this and actually really are enjoying them, because the struggle makes this sort of stuff all the sweeter, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it does. And, you know, you have texts from like, I don't know, I had a text just even from my mum before the game, and she was just like, you know, these are the nights that you've dreamed of since you was a kid. And it's true, man. Like, you know, playing in the semi-final of a Champions League, you know, everyone in the world was probably watching. Sometimes you pinch yourself, not to get like nervous or whatever, because I swear I weren't nervous one bit, but just to pinch yourself, just to be like, oh man, this is the life, innit? So
it was a magic night. I know you enjoyed it. Let's have a look back at what was a special night in the Bernabéu.
Good luck for the second leg. All right, take care.
It is. 23 seconds, Richard, is an eternity.
I think we've got a quick answer on the idea of having a chip in the ball. Here's Arsene Wenger on technology.
Look, VAR has been created to make more right decisions, and on facts. Facts is ball in or out. VAR has to intervene and make the right decision. This is absolutely 100%. So at the moment, I believe we cannot check on the sideline if the ball is in and out on the VAR. But we have a chip in the ball now, and with a chip in the ball you can check.
No. Well, why didn't we?
No, because you can't check. That line's got to be active, isn't it?
Yeah, but he said we have a chip in the ball now. With the chip, we can.
Right. Here's another thing about it. I've just read that movement. You can't go back. You can't go back because Real Madrid did win the ball back, and Camavinga gave it away again.
Okay, so if it's a straight action to go to lead to the goal,
yes,
you
then
can
you
come
can
back.
take. What I'm saying, Marcel, Real Madrid got the ball back. Camavinga had it, tried to play that ball in field. Rodri cut it out, and the goal was scored.
So if the ball was in possession of City all the time and they made that goal,
maybe then
you could do.
Maybe then you could have an argument that you should go back, but not when Madrid have one possession.
I'm looking forward to this conversation tomorrow night because Arsene will be in this studio, and because
I think he gave already an answer.
No, I don't think. I think he is saying they should have gone back.
Well, I'll argue the point then.
But I know you will. That's why I said I'm looking forward to it.
Bernabéu, where the Manchester City subs continue out on the pitch behind us. In a moment, Jack Grealish is going to come out for a bit of a chat, but first, let's get the post-match thoughts of the boss. Here's Pep Guardiola.
Pep, we knew it was going to be a fiercely contested match. Exactly what happened. What did you make of it?
When we were better, they scored. When they were better, we score. Tight game. Bernabéu semi-finals always is difficult, and we got good moments, and sometimes it's difficult with the quality they have with the ball. 1-1, final next Wednesday at home with our people.
You showed a lot of grit and a lot of fight after going down a goal behind.
No, we started really well in the second half as well. 5-10 minutes, and after they got the game, we could not take it. They make a lot of passes. They put a lot of players in the left side. They are really, really good there. And but after we make a fantastic goal from Kevin, and we had a good moments, and at the end they have also a few chances. So it was a tight game.
The tight game, it takes total focus, doesn't it? That kind of game, mental focus as well.
It's so demanding. So they are so good. They have experience, the quality, but the same. So now we travel to Manchester, and we are going to see what can do better. So when you play this kind of games, it's like a playoff. So the second, you learn a lot for the first, and hopefully we can learn and defend better and attack better.
Defensively, they were very eager to keep Haaland out of the action, and they did pretty well in that sense.
Yeah, because the pockets, the distance between the central defenders and the fullbacks was occupied for attacking midfielders. So for Modric, or Toni Kroos, or Valverde, so it was a twin central defender close to Erling. It was not easy for him, but he moved well and had his chances.
It's set up perfectly for Manchester next week.
Yeah, definitely.
Good luck.
Let's just pick up on a point he made towards the end there about Erling Haaland and Rudiger playing really well against him this evening and limiting him to not an awful lot.
Militao is normally the first choice centre-back who was out, so Rudiger comes in. And to be fair, if you was going to ask any player to come in European football at the moment, I probably would have said for aggression, application, the way he enjoys that physical element of the game. And I think that's what we've been saying about Erling Haaland in the Premier League. Who's been willing to take him and have a 1v1 battle and be confident? The way Rudiger was today, he was excellent. Alaba as well at times. He made one great block in the second half. So I think you've got to be aggressive with Haaland. I still don't think that nullifies him completely, but I thought today that's the best I've seen the centre-back pairing play him.
But I think you can be aggressive, but you've got to have the strength and the capability to match
and the pace.
Yeah, because we've seen players try to be aggressive, but not being able to match the strength and the pace, where Rudiger obviously tonight found himself isolated. We were watching it when there was the ball nowhere near him. He's pulling his shirt, pushing him around, so I think he was just flustering him around. But yeah, it's a pattern to go forward, but I don't think every centre-half can take that approach.
Fewest touches of any player who started the game, Erling Haaland. So would you start Rudiger in the second leg purely because of the way he played against him tonight?
You would say so, wouldn't you? I mean, he played particularly well, but the next game will be very different. And you'd be mistaken if you think that, I've got his number type of thing. Because as I said before the game, he can score.
Position maintenant. Alors que se passe-t-il? Le buteur Hakim Ziyech est resté au sol.